you're gone again, just as long again. I can't read your mind, no, I'm trying all the time. There's something I don't know, I can see it in your eyes. Oh, as the night ascends, all will slow again. Oh, I'm left in awe of the woman I adore. I can't read your mind, I'm trying all the time. There's something I don't know, I can see it in your eyes. As the night ascends, all will slow again. All right, what is up? This is Real Estate 101. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. Welcome. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Had a great conversation with Joshua Valentine the other day. I was sad. You asked me as I laid in a black dress with my father in a cast. I had no fun. Welcome. If you're just joining us, this is Real Estate 101. This is Jonathan Dupree. Give me 1 second. I'm starting the recording, and we're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, well, this is Jonathan Dupree. Welcome to Real Estate 101. I am in my new office here in Austin, Texas. When I set up at home, still working on it, but just about got everything set up how I used to have it in my home in Baton Rouge before I moved. Hey, listen, if you got a question, I would love for you to put it in the comments below in the video. Please share this stream. Also, if you'd like access to the replays, I post all of my replays on Patreon. And you can go to patreon.com/Coach Dupree. You can see all of the previous recordings. You can subscribe. If you love the content every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I teach this class, Real Estate 101, and you want to show your support, then you can become a patron and you can subscribe and you have access to all the replays. Plus, there are a lot of other things that I do as well. Also want to let you know about a great group coaching program I have for agents. It's $47 a month. You can learn more about it at realestatemastoryschool.com, realestatemastoryschool.com, and I'll post that in the comments in just a few minutes. But every month, once a month, I have a group coaching session, and then there's also lots of resources that you have access to when you're a part of the Real Estate Mastery School. There's my script book that you don't have to purchase it separately if you're part of the group. There's courses, there's interviews that I have uploaded there. Just every month I'm adding new content and stuff in addition to the group coaching sessions. And if you sign up this month, Our group coaching session for August is this Tuesday at 10 a.m. We're going through something called the success wheel and why it's important to generate leads daily. And I'll post that comment for you in just a second. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, man. And I just posted the link there. You can click on group coaching if you want to learn more about that. Okay, so I'm going to be going back and forth tonight between a little bit of drawing, a little bit of where you see me on the camera, and we're going to be focusing on the 3 L's of real estate. I've been talking about this for, gosh, the last several weeks, and we're focusing on leads. And each week we've been breaking down the different lead mechanisms for you as an agent to grow your real estate business. And I want to talk about the sphere of influence tonight. And you go, well, why didn't you start with that? And I didn't start with it because it's funny. I teach this power prospecting workshop all the time. And one of the things that I notice that happens is agents, some reason, especially newer agents to the business and experienced agents, get away from their sphere of influence, including past clients. But it's like we want to avoid them at all costs, and we want to try to figure out all these other ways to generate leads in our real estate sales business, or whether it's purchasing internet leads, generating our own internet leads, open houses. We've talked about for sale by owners. We've talked about expireds. We've talked about geographical farming in the last few weeks. And you want to avoid your sphere, and I don't understand why, because it is the most profitable for you. The most profitable transaction in real estate is the one where you generate the lead yourself, and when you work your sphere of influence, friends, family, past clients, affiliates, people who are in your world who know you, and if you train them well, when the subject of real estate comes up, they will think of you before they think of anyone else in the real estate business. And that's really powerful because they will become advocates for you. They will become your biggest fans. They will become evangelists for you, and they will go out and shout from the rooftops, "You've got to use my friend. He's the best realtor around." And I'm telling you, you want to work your sphere of influence. So we'll do this power prospecting workshop, and I'll say, okay, we're going to call 3 people from your sphere of influence, and everyone freezes and they want to act like they're checking voicemail and not making calls. And I ask them, what have you done to your friends and family that's so bad that they wouldn't want to help you become successful in real estate? And they realize it's kind of silly having this thought that they can't work their sphere of influence. And so tonight we're going to focus on the sphere of influence. And so let's just kind of dive into this. And I'd love to know some feedback from you guys. What are some of the things that you do specific to generating leads in your sphere of influence? And if you're not working your sphere of influence, why aren't you? What are some of the reasons that prevent you? So you're not going to see me for a minute. You're going to hear me, but you're not going to see me. I'm trying this out, and we'll see how this works. So if you go, well, when you talk about the 3 L's, what are you really talking about? So there's a great book called the MREA, or the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And in there, there's this model. It's a fantastic book. It really tells you how to scale up your business. Maybe you've read, there's a great book called The Rockefeller Habits, and there's another book by the same guy who wrote The Rockefeller Habits called Scaling Up. And to me, the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, is the scaling up book for the real estate agent. It really teaches you how to go from startup to building a great real estate sales team, scaling your business up and structuring it. And in here, he has what Gary Keller calls the 3 L's, and they are leads, listings, and leverage. So let's talk about this just for one quick second. You know, I was talking to Gary this weekend, and we were having a conversation. And most agents, if you think of their business, this is what it looks like. Most agents, they have this goal, right? They know where they want to be, or maybe they think they do. A lot of people don't have clarity to their goal. They spend more time planning a 3-day vacation than they do the rest of their life or their business. But let's just say you kind of have this idea. Here's where you want to be. This is your goal, and here's your starting point. And it looks like this. Most people think your pathway is just straight away. Let's go to the goal, but that's not it. It's more like this. And this is what most agents' business looks like. I mean, comment below if you think I'm not being truthful. This is what it's like. I mean, you're all over the map. You're every 90 days the business is changing, the systems are changing, what you're doing is changing, and it's really important for you to have some models, because models give you stability in this business. And so now, if you know this is my starting point, what if your business looked more like this, and all of a sudden you're getting off track, and it's all about course correcting. So how quickly, once you get outside of these lines, do you course correct and get back on track? And listen, life happens to all of us. So, we may go back a little bit, go forward, we get outside the lines again. How quickly do we cut that off, course correct, make adjustments, and get back on track? And this is how it most likely will look for most of us on this pathway to our goal, where we want to be. But if you don't have clarity to where you are and where you want to be, it's going to be really difficult for you to succeed in this business. So back to the 3 L's, we are now focusing on, so when you look at this triangle and you go, okay, we have leads and listings and leverage. Let's talk for a second about leads. You want to make sure that you're lead generating to get listings. And here's why. Listings will always bring you other leads. I want you to remember that. Listings will always bring you other leads. You go, what are you talking about? They'll always bring me other leads. Well, you'll get sign calls. You're able to leverage that listing on the internet. You can generate leads from it. You can have, there's so many avenues for you to generate leads for the listing versus a buyer. And you can only work with so many buyers at any given time. You can go out and list 15 to 20 homes a month if you treat this business like a true job, if you treat it like a profession and not a hobby. And so you can go out and generate as many listings as you want. And my dad used to tell me, he was like, Jonathan, listings are like money in the bank. It's like you're making a deposit every time you get a listing. And that's the next part of this, is listings always bring you leverage, because now you can begin to go, what people do I need in my world to scale up my business so that I can have some leverage, so that I can have a better quality of life and build the business that I desire. We're going to talk about listings and leverage over the next couple of months if you continue to join me on Sunday nights. But we've been focusing right here on leads over the last maybe 4 weeks, because until you have enough leads, can you guys hear my little girl? Until I want you to get this point. Until you have enough leads coming in to meet or exceed your goals, then you have a lead generation problem. And we have to fix that problem. We have to make sure that in your pipeline, you have enough business coming in to keep you moving forward towards the goal. That's really important for you to grasp. And so we broke down all these different lead mechanisms or avenues for you to generate leads. And there's so many, and you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money to go generate leads in the beginning when you're growing your real estate business. But I meet a lot of agents, and they don't know what to do in the business. So they start in the business, and as they start, they kind of get distracted and lost, and then they try to do things to make it appear like they're busy. In reality, they're just trying to feel like they're busy so they can justify what they're doing, even though they don't have enough business coming in, so that ultimately 6 months, a year down the road, they have to exit the business because they didn't do the work. They didn't have a plan. They didn't work their plan. So it's really important for you to grasp this concept on the front end, and you can go out and you can crush it by just generating enough leads in the beginning if you do it right. And so we're going to talk about your sphere tonight. I'm going to switch back. We're going to focus on, when we talk about leads, specifically your sphere of influence. I would love for some of you to share in the comments why you work your sphere, or what is your biggest challenge. Let's do this. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to working your sphere? So I think that number one, I think we are afraid. We're afraid. What are we afraid of? Well, we're afraid that we would be bothering our friends and family. We're afraid they may say no. Think about that. I mean, how silly does that sound? You're calling a friend or family member to ask them for help in growing your real estate business, and you feel like they would tell you, no, I don't want to help you. So we're afraid. Fear, we let fear dictate our life. And when I think of fear, I think of two things. There's one that I've always heard. Fear could stand for forget everything and run. That's one way you could look at fear. Forget everything and run. Or another way that you could look at fear is face everything and rise. So in growing your real estate business, it's really important for you to face the fear of reaching out to people who know you, like you, love you, and would want to help you. People like doing business with people they know, like, and trust. And so we're afraid, and you have to overcome that. The second is we don't want to get rejected. We don't want to hear the word no. I think that's a big reason that we avoid our sphere. And the third is, I think we have a limited belief that we have no sphere of influence. I don't know anyone. I just moved to a new market. I don't know anyone in that market. Well, get out and meet people. I told my son Noah, I said, get out, go to the coffee shop. That's where you do your lead generation. Wear your name badge, talk on the phone, put your headset on, talk a little louder than you normally would. You're going to meet people in the coffee shop. And sure enough, he started meeting people, and he started meeting people who actually became clients. And then some of those people started referring him other people and other clients, and all that he met at different coffee shops. So now we moved to Austin, and I said, get out in the coffee shops, go meet new people, plug into church, get into a young professional group, get involved in the community, find some kind of outreach you can be involved in so that you can meet people and begin to build relationships. So if you have no sphere of influence, that's probably not accurate. You've got people in your cell phone that you can reach out to. Even if they're not in your market, you can reach out to them for agent-to-agent referrals. You can help them in whatever market they're in. And so I want to give you two scripts tonight that I think can help you with your sphere of influence. And the first is if you're a brand new agent. And the second is if you're an experienced agent. And so I'm going to flip back and forth. This is the part you guys are going to have to hang in there with me. So just give me 1 second. I want you to be able to see me when I'm talking about the scripts portion. So there are two scripts, one for a new agent. So if you just got started in real estate business within the last 4, 5, 6 months, or if you just started yesterday, it doesn't matter. If you're newer in the business, this is the script that I want you to use. I want you to go through your phone. I want you to call everybody in your phone. And we're going to talk about building a database in just a second. But I want you to call everybody in your phone. And I just want you to use a script like this. I want you to call them and say, hey, this is Jonathan. How's it going? Man, that's fantastic. Hey, listen, I just wanted to give you a quick call, and I don't know if you know or not, but I got my real estate license, and I'm really excited about this career change. And I wanted to call you. You were one of the first people I thought of who I knew was really influential and also just a great friend of mine. And I just wanted to let you know I've got a big goal this year to help 24 families when it comes to buying or selling a home this year. And I wanted to know if I could count on you to help me out this year. Like if you come across anyone who's looking to buy a home or sell a home or invest in real estate, I would really appreciate you thinking of me. Would you do that for me? A simple script, simple script. I'm just looking for you to help me. That's it. Now, if you're an experienced agent, it's the same script, except you're reminding them that you're in real estate. So you're calling them and you're saying, hey, I just wanted to give you a quick call. I hope everything's going good in your world. I just wanted to remind you that I'm in real estate. And I know that may sound silly, and you go, I know you're in real estate, but believe it or not, I've got a lot of friends I see, and I kind of lose touch here and there, or life happens and there's lots of things going on. And I just have found it helpful to call and remind my friends that I'm still in real estate. So if you ever know anyone looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, I'd really appreciate you thinking of me. Would you do that for me? Really simple script. Those are the two scripts that I want to encourage you that you can use this week, like right away. You can start using this script tomorrow. I'm going to flip back for a second. And it's a super easy script. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Teresa. It's easy. You know, it's one of those things where it's like it's easy to do, but it's also easy to not do. Now I'm going to bring it a step further because we're going to talk about your database. And when you think about your database, a lot of times I meet with agents and I'll say, well, do you use a CRM? How many people are in your database? And so some of the tools, like database is a big tool for you, and you want to go through your phone and you want to take everyone that you know in your phone and you want to add them to your database. And when I say database, your CRM, like your true system where you're putting someone in, you're able to make notes about them, you're able to schedule reminders, put them on smart plans, drip campaigns, so that you can stay in touch with them over a period of time. You want to build your database. Now, one of the things that you want to do is, as you're building your database, and this is something you can work on this week, and it's very, very easy to do. Is what I call 30 cups of coffee in 30 days. So this is so easy. I'm telling you, this is so simple. And you could do this tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you a true story about this in just a little bit. But you want to take your database and go through it and identify your top 5 influencers, who, these are people who are like movers and shakers in your world, and you know that they could, over the course of a year, they could send you, I don't know, somewhere between 3 to 5 referrals over the next 12 months. And then I want you to identify 25 people in your database who could give you somewhere between 1 to 3 referrals over the next 12 months. Really simple. So you're taking your database, you're looking at it, you're basically identifying 30 people who could send you referrals over the next 12 months. 5 who are your top influencers. They could send you somewhere between 3 to 5 referrals each over the next 12 months. And then 25 people who could send you somewhere between 1 to 3 referrals over the next 12 months. Really simple to do. Just go through, look at it, find your people. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to use a script. You're going to call these people. Now, you may find these people shift, and that's okay. You might think that this person right here is going to give you 3 to 5 referrals, but turns out this person down here that you thought was only going to give you 1 to 3 referrals becomes the 3 to 5 person, and this person becomes a 1 to 3. That's okay. Doesn't matter. You just, in the beginning, you're trying to guesstimate who are my top influencers, my top 30. Now you're going to give them a call, and you're going to use a really simple script, and that script goes like this. All right, are you guys ready? It's so easy. So you just give them a call and you say, hey, Mike, this is Jonathan. How are things going in your world? Hey, look, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I have a quick question. I wanted to give you a call and see if we could grab coffee, because I've got some really exciting things happening in my real estate business, and I know that you're so influential, and I think you could help me out. Would you be open to grabbing a cup of coffee with me this week? Now, here's the thing with this. These are people, if they're in your top 30, they know you. They like you. you have some type of relationship with them, and they will be more than happy to grab coffee with you. So it's a simple script. Don't overthink the script. How are you doing? I'm really excited about my real estate business. Got some exciting things happening. I know you're really influential, and I just wanted to see if we could grab a cup of coffee so I could share some things going on. That's it. That's your script. Now, when you meet with them for coffee, you show up, and the goal is to have 30 of these appointments in 30 days. I've never had someone do this, but that's the goal. And everyone I've challenged to do this has had more business drummed up, come up in over the month from doing this process right here. So now you meet with them for coffee, and you're sitting down, and this script is really, really simple. It's, hey, Mike, thanks so much for grabbing coffee with me. I just wanted to let you know I'm really excited about my real estate business this year. And I've got some big goals. One of them is to help 48 families this year buy a home or sell a home. And I know you know lots and lots of people. And so my question is, Mike, what has to happen for me to be the realtor of choice in your world so that when the subject of real estate comes up, you'd think of me? That's it. That is the script. So the key parts of the script is what has to happen for me to become the realtor of choice in your world so that when the subject of real estate comes up, you'd think of me. That's it. How simple is that? Hey, Mike, I know you're so influential. I'm really excited about my business this year. I've got some big goals. I want to help 48 families. I've got some great tools. I'm super excited about where my business is going. And really, I thought of you, and I just have a question. What has to happen for me to become the realtor of choice in your world so that when the subject of real estate comes up, you would think of me? You'd feel comfortable enough referring someone to me. And you know what Mike is going to say? Mike is going to say, well, nothing. I mean, I can do that. I can totally do that. And so now I have to do something different. I have to now stop, and here's where most people miss this, and I have to coach my sphere through how to give me a referral. Because if I just leave it there, then someone's going to talk about real estate, and Mike's going to go, oh, you need to call my good friend. Let me give you their number. And then they never call. There's no connection made. So once that happens, I say, fantastic, Mike. Thank you so much for being willing to help me. Here's what I need from you. So when someone talks about real estate, or when it just comes up in your world in conversation, or you know of someone who's thinking of moving or thinking of selling or thinking of buying, what I want you to do is don't just give them my information, but text me their information. And I'll follow up with them, because sometimes people get busy and they just lose whatever you give them. They forget to call, and just let them know to expect my call and shoot me a text with their info. And I promise you, I'll take great care of them. And he's going to say, oh, yeah, okay, I can do that. And then I say, hey, by the way, Mike, what can I do to help you? Is there anything I can do to help you out? What would be a great referral for you? And no one's probably asked them that question. And so I sit and I listen. So I'm going to have a goal to have 30 of those types of appointments. They are intentional appointments, intentional, where I'm asking for referrals. I'm coaching them through how to give me referrals. And I'm telling you, it works. This is gold. I'm going to share a true story. I had an agent. They came into my office one day. I'm going to flip my camera back on for a second. And I don't know if you guys like the Elmo or not. I'm learning how to use it. So if you do, you can drop a comment in on the stream if it's more. I'm visual, so I like seeing things drawn out. But so anyway, let me get my camera on. There we go. So I need someone running this, so I'm not running it, and it'll be much easier. So I want to tell you about this agent. They came in my office. They were about to quit. They said, I'm just done. They were a great agent. They were really, in my opinion, a top producing agent. And They had had a baby, they'd gone through a divorce, their business was struggling, and they thought maybe real estate is not the thing for me anymore. And I said, "You're so talented. I just want to challenge you to do one thing before you do." And I drew out this 30 cups of coffee in 30 days. And I said, "I want to challenge you to do this." And so this agent made their first call, and it was to a builder that they used to represent years ago. And that builder said, "I'd love to meet with you, but I don't drink coffee. Can we meet at Chick-fil-A?" So they went to Chick-fil-A, and this agent had on her name badge. She sat down, she met the builder, they had a great conversation. And the builder says, "I'm so glad that you called. I'm actually starting a new development, and I'm looking for an agent to represent me, and I think you'd be perfect for this. And also, I have a friend of mine who's selling their home for sale by owner out on the lake, and this is in Baton Rouge near LSU. And I'm going to tell them that you're going to call. So I'll text you once I call them today, and I'm going to tell them they need to take your call, and they need to seriously consider listing their home." And she said, "Wow, okay, that sounds awesome." That was her first meeting, her first appointment from 30 cups of coffee in 30 days. As she's getting up to leave, there are some people in a booth, and they stop her and they say, "Hey, can we ask you a quick question? Are you a realtor?" She says, "Yes, I am. Why do you ask?" They said, "Well, we just overheard your conversation, and we just moved here for work, and we didn't want to reach out to a realtor." And they pulled out one of those real estate books that that have all the homes, and said, "We just started looking at homes, but we didn't want to call an agent until we had been pre-approved. And we literally just left our bank and we came here to eat lunch. And then we were going to call some agents because we have our pre-approval letter. And we want to know if you would help us." And so she said, "Yeah." So her first appointment for 30 cups of coffee in 30 days, she ended up listing this small development. She ended up going on an appointment with a for sale by owner. She ended up listing that property. She ended up selling that couple a house at Chick-fil-A that she met. That was her first appointment. She came back in 2 weeks later and said, "I have so much stuff going on in the last 2 weeks than I did in the last 6 months," all because she was intentional in reaching out to her sphere, letting them know that she worked by referral, and also letting them coach them through how to give her referrals. And so those are some things that you can do right away with not a lot of effort for you to be able to begin generating leads in your business that it doesn't cost you anything at all. I wanted to share a couple more thoughts, and then I'll look through the questions and see if we have any questions. So if you have a question, you can put it in there, and I'll make sure I do some Q&A at the end. So your sphere of influence, these are people that know you, like you, trust you. And you have to be intentional with them when you're talking to them. You have to coach them through how to give you referrals. And I think a couple of things that you want to do. The first is let them know. Let them know that you work off of referrals. So it's I used to have a note card. This is what I did all my handwritten note cards on, and it was a picture of me and my wife. We worked together, and it said, "The best compliment I can get are referrals from my friends." And every time I sent a note card out to someone, a past client, someone in my sphere, someone I just had a new client I worked, someone I met at an open house, I wanted them to know I worked off of referrals. Every signature file in my email said, "The best compliment I can get are referrals from my friends." My voicemail used to say, "Hi, this is Jonathan Dupree. Thanks so much for calling. The best compliment I can get are referrals from my friends and family." So if you're calling with a referral, please leave their information. I'll get in touch with them as soon as possible. If you're calling for any other reason, leave your message. I'll reach back out to you. And by the way, you can press pound to skip this message in the future. That was my voicemail. So let them know. Use things like signature files, handwritten note cards, all the things that you can do to communicate with them. Social media, make a post that just being intentional, letting them know that you work off of referrals. Most agents that I talk to that have a referral-based business, what ends up happening is they get referrals, but it happens organically, and they're not very intentional about it. And if they were intentional about it, their business would be on a whole nother level. Right, so that's the first thing. The second thing, when building a referral-based business, it's really important that you contribute value. And I'll add one more word, constantly. Deliver value constantly. You're constantly looking for ways to reach out to your sphere and share something useful. It doesn't always have to even be about real estate. In Louisiana, it's hurricane season. You might call everyone in your sphere and you might say, hey, listen, I just want to let you know the latest tips on how to hurricane proof your home. You may call and give them an update. What if you could call people in your sphere? What if you had the technology to call people in your sphere and go, hey, listen, I just set up a landing, don't call it a landing page, but just go to your top 30 and, oh, I need to share one more. I need to circle back to the top 30 and share how you wrap that up. So I'm glad I just said that. But what if you called them and you said you registered your top 30 people in your sphere of influence, their names, uh, like johnsubdivision.com on GoDaddy or Google Domains, and you spent $12 times 30, so maybe $350, $400, somewhere that realm, to register your sphere of influences, their name and their subdivision or their city. And then call them and say, hey, I just want to let you know, a lot of my friends have been asking me what's going on in the real estate world. And so I set up a page just for you. It's your own page, johnsubdivision.com or John's Baton Rouge Real Estate for Jonathan.com, whatever it is that you register for them. And say, I just wanted you to go there, check it out, bookmark it. It's got all kind of information happening in the real estate world in your market and things that I think you would be want to be aware of. That's contributing value. Maybe finding articles that you send to them with a little sticky note on the article that you're sending out and just saying, hey, I thought you would really enjoy this. The third thing that you want to do is, by contributing value and letting them know you work off of referrals, is you're building a pool of cheerleaders for you. These are people who are cheering you on. They're championing you. They want to see you succeed. They want to help you. They want to be a part of helping you. And the fourth thing is, ask for the referral. Ask. Be intentional. Again, be intentional. If you're not intentional, you're going to be the person that goes to a Christmas party and sees someone in your sphere and they're going to go, oh my God, I just bought a house and I completely forgot to call you. Well, you shouldn't be mad at them. You should be mad at yourself because you dropped the ball in contributing value and staying top of mind. And then also you want to, this is the big one, and this is what I'm going to circle back to, is treat them different. And you go, what are you talking about? We live in this world where we think everything is fair, and the reality is the people who send you business, they deserve to be treated a little different than everyone else in your database. And this brings me to wrapping up this session tonight and going into Q&A. Before I do, I just want to share back to the 30. So we identified our 5 people in our database that are our top influencers, and then 25 other ones that we felt like between all 30 of these people, we could get somewhere between, at the end of the year, 70 to 100 referrals. What would your business look like if in the next 12 months you had 70 to 100 referrals? What would it look like? Well, stop and think about that for a second. How many referrals did you get last year? What would it look like if this year you got 70 to 100? Your business would shift. It'd be a whole nother business. And so what you want to do is treat these people differently. Every month, you're going to do something a little different. Every single month. You're going to take that top 30 people. You're going to love on them because it's your gold mine. And so the first month you may get some tickets to a football game, and you may call, and you have to call 7 people before you can find someone that'll take those tickets. But you really gave those tickets away 7 times, even though you gave away 1 pair of tickets. The next month you may send all 30 of them brownies. My sister is a great agent, and I mean a powerful agent. And she did this, and she took her top 30 and she sent them brownies. And she said, I just want to let you know I really care about you guys. Hope you're doing well. Also, I want to let you know that if you know anyone looking to buy a home or sell a home, I really appreciate you thinking of me. And from those 30 that sending out those brownies that month, she received a coach coming in at LSU. She was able to work with that coach and sell them a home. And then there was a doctor who was moving out of state, and she was able to list their home and sell their home, all from the brownies. So it was probably, I don't know, this was years ago, but I'm just assuming it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to $60,000 in gross commission income from those two transactions from sending out those brownies. Would you say that's a pretty good return on your investment? Absolutely. Maybe the next month you do a special little dinner for your top 30 guests, a little client party, just for, and not, they might not even be clients, just your top 30 party, your influencer party. Maybe the next month you send all of them a handwritten note card. It's just, it doesn't have to be where you're investing lots of money. It's just you're constantly reaching out to them and reminding them that you work off of referrals, and you're letting them know how they can help you. They want to help you. They just don't know how to help you. They don't know what to do. So I'm going to look at the comments and see if we have any questions. While I'm doing that, I want to let you know that you can visit realestatemastoryschool.com. We might not have room on this board. I might have made this too realestatemastoryschool.com. I'll put the comment, I'll type it here in just a second in the chat box. That is all of my courses. You can get my book there right now. I have a deal on my script book and the audio program combined together, so you save like 25 bucks if you go there. I'm going to post it, a link. Wait 1 second. And you can see the script book. It's called Scripts and Tips. And in that, there's it's probably about 100 pages, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's scripts for prospecting, lead follow-up, appointments, navigating objections. It's really good stuff, I think. And then there's an audio program as well. And the audio program talks about tie downs and embedded commands and how you can really understand scripts and how it's a framework of a conversation. I think it's the number one tool to help you, especially when it comes to lead generation, is understanding scripts and what to say, how to say it, when to say it, the structure of a conversation. And it's for every area, from sphere of influence to open houses, for sale by owners, expireds, farming, you name it, internet leads. There are scripts for you in every scenario in real estate. So if you go to realestatemastoryschool.com and purchase the script book now, it'll be digitally delivered to you right away. You'll also have some other free resources there, and you'll also have access to the audio program as well, which those are both sold separately. So you're saving 25 bucks if you purchase it. Hey, listen, I'm going to scroll through and see if we have any questions before I am done. Let's see. If you've got one, you can throw it in there. It's not letting me scroll down and see the rest of the comments. Okay, now I can see. So let's just make sure I'm not missing anything before we wrap up tonight. Oh, Chuck Hill, call to wish your sphere of influence happy birthday. Yes, blows them away. Also, if you know their anniversary, I sent a friend of mine an anniversary card once for their anniversary. He said, "Man, the only person that I got an anniversary card from was my wife." So yes, absolutely. So the script is super easy, and I mean it's a no brainer. Um, let's see. I'm trying to scroll to see some new comments popping up. And it's frozen. So I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me or not. Give me 1 second. I'm still here and I'm just jumping back in. I had my browser froze up on me. If you've got a question about anything we've spoken about, type it in. I'll be happy to answer it. And I just saw a couple new ones popping on there. Okay, how much do you give clients who refer people to you? Great question, Lisa. I don't give them anything. Now let me backtrack. I used closing gifts. I was big on Cutco closing gifts. I love them. I used to give things like an engraved that people would keep for a long time, and that was a gift that I used to give. And Julian Landry was my Cutco guy. And you can look him up. He's one of the top guys in the country closing gift wise. And there's several out there. I know Noah sold Cutco, and he's got some guys he can tag who also do closing gifts. And that's a great tool because it's a little bit more, I would give a knife and a cutting board when I was, and I still, when people refer me coaching clients or speaking engagements, I send out gifts like that as client gifts, but I don't give money away. I don't give gift cards. I don't give things that would be used up and just they'd be gone and they would no longer remember me, like, a bottle of wine and some cheese. That's all great, but they drink the wine, they eat the cheese, they forget about you. I wanted something that would be a constant reminder. So hope that helps. And it froze up again. So I'm struggling to see your comments on Facebook. I'll go back through and answer them myself for you guys. Hey, listen, again, if you're a patron on Patreon, and you can just go to patreon.com / or backslash, I don't know which one it is that one, Coach Dupree, and I'll post that in the comments as well. You can have access to all the recordings of my trainings. If you join our group coaching program, which you can read about at realestatemasteryschool.com, just click on the group coaching program icon. It's $47 a month. We have one group coaching session a month guaranteed. And then you have access to all my other courses and resources at no extra cost. And I'm telling you, it's a no-brainer if you're an agent. And we have a group coaching session happening this Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you miss it, you get access to the recording. So if you join before now and Tuesday, you can join in August. You can take part in the coaching session that we have coming up in August this Tuesday. Thanks so much for being here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday.